These are my children. This is my family, and I love my family. Oh, no, my babies. Are you okay, babies? I'm so creepy. What is wrong with me?
Get out of my shot. What are you doing here? What are you doing here? What are you doing? Oh, hello. Do you want to be YouTube famous? Look.
This is my 5th time trying to film the intro for this video, and so far all attempts have gone horribly wrong. Our phone is rung, my dog is barked, it's just all going wrong. I'm gonna try now. Okay, hey guys, it's Molly here, and today I am filming for you guys my top 10 favorite horror movies. Now, most of you probably know that I am an ecstatic horror fan. Horror movies are my absolute favorite kind of movie. If someone came up to me and asked me like, hey, what's your favorite movie? You can bet your buns that all those movies, all 10 of them, would be horror movies because I love them. They're my absolute favorite genre. I actually find all other kinds of movies kind of boring, like with the exception of like Pitch Perfect, and I guess I like The Hunger Games and Divergent. I sort of hate all other movies. Like action movies bore me more than horror movies. I just don't like any other movies, but horror is just something that I really love. So I figured this would be a cool kind of video for you guys to do, and I was actually watching Cutie Pie Marcy, and she did this video, and I was like, I noticed that a lot of her favorites were a lot of my favorites. Like, I think we have like 4 of the same horror movies in common. I was like, yay! So I kind of wanted to do this video, and you know, I'm sorry, like my tooth has been hurting me today. I don't know what's up with that. I don't know. Okay, yep, what am I doing? Alright, so without any further ado, or before this video gets jinxed again, I'm gonna get started with number 1. Okay. By the way, these are in no particular order. Like, I don't like any, like, I do have my most favorite horror movie here, which is, like, above all the rest, but the rest, they're not in orders. Like, I don't like any certain movie more than another. These are just my top 10 out of all the ones I've seen. So, now let's get started. Okay, so movie number 1, I figured we'd start off with my favorite horror movie of all time, which is A Nightmare on Elm Street. This is I actually have like, I have all 4 of them here. It's like a set of all 4 Nightmare on Elm Street movies. I love A Nightmare on Elm Street. The first one is definitely my favorite. I definitely like the first one the best, but the others are good too. I love A Nightmare on Elm Street. It's my favorite horror movie. Freddy Krueger is my favorite horror movie villain. I literally am obsessed with A Nightmare on Elm Street. I have the Freddy Krueger claw. My brother gave it to me. It's upstairs in my room, and I kind of want to hang it on my wall. Like, I sort of want to do that, like, really badly. I literally obsess over A Nightmare on Elm Street. It's such a good movie. The original was made in 1984. I like older movies. I feel like modern day horror movies are pretty bad, like with the exception of a couple, like with the exception of Insidious and Carrie and stuff like that. Okay, I'll explain Carrie later, but I really feel like modern day horror movies aren't very original. I feel like they're all ghosts, people, houses, and dolls. I feel like that's every horror movie now, and they're so unoriginal with the exception of a couple. But this one, oh my god, it's so good. It's a slasher film, but it's like the most different kind of slasher film because Freddy Krueger is more like a monster, and he's technically paranormal, but it's seriously so good. Like, I love A Nightmare on Elm Street. If you guys, dog, do not interrupt my video. If you guys have not seen A Nightmare on Elm Street, don't interrupt me. You're interrupting my video. Please don't do that. But like I said, if you guys have not seen A Nightmare on Elm Street, seriously, you need to see it. It is amazing. I love this movie. So yes, this is number 1. Now, from the rest of the list is not going to be like, oh, I like this movie a little bit better than this. It's just going to be a collection of my favorite movies. Now, some of them I don't have on DVD. I've seen online or on TV. On the TV, like I've seen them on like online on like movie websites, or like I've seen them all. I've read them on demand and stuff, but I will give them to you guys anyway. So I'm just gonna go through the ones I have on DVD. So this is my top 10. So now we're at number 2. Number 2 is The Exorcist. This is from 1973. Oh my god, if I'm right, I'm gonna be so happy. Hold on, yeah, 1970. Oh my god, I'm right. Seriously, I love this movie, so I'm just like reading through like the back stuff now. But it's seriously such a good movie. Like, how can you, if you've not seen The Exorcist, this is a horrifying movie that you need to watch. It is amazing. I love this movie. It's so good. Linda Blair was an amazing Regan. It is the story of a little girl named Regan McNeil, I believe is her name. I want to say it's Regan McNeil. I think I'm right. I'm pretty sure I'm right. Regan McNeil, and she plays with the Ouija board. I'm trying not to spoil too much, in her attic, and she's possessed by a demon, which is super creepy, by the way. And a bunch of priests have to come and try to get the demon out of her. But seriously, the transformation you see, Regan goes from adorable, sweet little girl to creature of evil. She's even more terrifying than she is on the picture. Like, wait till you see her. Like, I think I'm playing like some images right here, but it's such a good movie. You guys will love it. I'm going to promise you. It's a great movie. It's a fantastic movie. It's definitely one you need to see. It's amazing. Next up is, I know from any horror movie fan, I'm gonna get a lot of grief about this, but I don't want to hear it because you all know the truth. It is the remake 2013 of Carrie. Now I'm gonna explain why I prefer the remake over the original. I know the remake is not very well liked by movie critics and horror movie fans. I know they don't really like it. I know they prefer the original, but I have seen both the remake and the original, and I want to go as far as to say is I hate the original Carrie. I felt like Carrie, I think the girl who originally, this Carrie is played by Chloe Grace Moretz, and I'm a big fan of her, so that's probably why I love it so much. But I feel like the girl, I think her name was Sissy, yeah, that's her name, Sissy, who played the original Carrie. I felt like she was very annoying. She had like a southernish kind, not thinking of Southern people, but like not like a southernish accent, just like an annoying. I felt like she was annoying. Like the original Carrie, she was annoying. Like I really did not like her. I kind of like, and Carrie is someone, she's a horror movie villain. She's a protagonist and an antagonist. You want to root for them. I didn't want to root for Carrie. I kind of just wanted her to go ahead and lose her telekinesis and fall off a cliff. I'm sorry, I really hated her, and I really hated the movie. I felt like the casting wasn't very good. I felt like it wasn't scary at all, but this Carrie, oh my god, the remake, the casting was so perfect, so perfect. I felt like everybody was cast correctly. I feel like the girl who played Carrie, Chloe Grace Moretz, was cast correctly, and I feel like it was scary. Like, this was scary. The original, like, you can see the image on the back. This is a scary movie. The original Carrie was not scary, okay? Scary Carrie. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to rhyme here. But I really did adore this movie. Julianne Moore is in it. She plays Carrie's mom. Don't interrupt me when I'm talking about horror movies, okay, dog? No, I seriously feel like this was much, much better. You can even tell by the case, it's so much better than the original. Honestly, I wouldn't even bother watching the original. I would just watch the remake because I think it's a lot better. I really like it better. And you know, I think just like horror movie critics have something against remakes. Like, I am not big, like, I like some remakes, but some I hate. Like, for example, the Nightmare on Elm Street remake, that movie deserves to burn. Like, literally burn. No puns for Freddy Krueger burning. That deserves to burn and never be heard of. I hated that movie. There was nothing good at all. Freddy Krueger looked like a paper mache fish. That's not Freddy Krueger. Robert Englund is the one and only Freddy Krueger. All you horror movie fans, you know what's up. Come on. You know me. All right. Next up, we have number 4. Number 4 is one of my all-time favorites. It's a horror comedy, and it is Stephen King, the one and only master of horror. He's a horror writer, by the way. He's not a director. He wrote a bunch of horror movie stories, and there were made 2 movies, and this is probably one of my favorite Stephen King movies. I think it is. This is probably my favorite. One of my favorite Stephen King movies, possibly my favorite, is Stephen King's It. It is a horror movie about a group of kids. I'm not going to give away too much. A group of kids who meet this evil clown named Pennywise, which is this beautiful fella right here. And when they grow old, they think they destroy him, but when they grow up, he comes back. So they have to go back and try and defeat him and get rid of him. But it's such a good movie. It's Tim Curry as Pennywise, and I love Tim Curry, and it's so funny, but still, like, Pennywise is so creepy, but he's still so funny. Like, you gotta love this movie. You just can't hate it. Like, it's so funny, you can't hate it. Like, it's seriously a great movie. I really recommend this to you. It's scary as well. It does have its scary parts, very, very creepy parts, but I totally recommend this movie. It actually aired back in 1990 as a 2-part TV series, so when you get the disc, open it up. If you buy it on DVD, part 1 is on, Part 2 is on this side, then part 1, like when you put it in, part 1 will play, but then you have to flip it over to play part 2, because it's a 2-part TV series. It is very long. It's around 3 hours, it's 187 minutes, so it is pretty long, but that's because it's a 2-part series, 2-part TV, it airs as a TV series in 2 parts, so it's about roughly 3 hours long, so yeah, it's pretty long, but it's totally worth it, and I would recommend watching the whole entire thing, because, you know, you don't want to miss a minute of it. It's really good. Alright, now we're on to number 5. Number 5 is a horror movie I love so much. It's a psychological horror movie, and it is Stanley Kubrick's, or is it Kubrick or Kubrick? I never forget. I just call him Kubrick. I don't know. It's the same with like Alfred Hitchcock. I mess the two up so much. It is Stanley Kubrick's The Shining. This was based off of, I think, a Stephen King. Yes, a Stephen King novel. This is another Stephen. I actually have 3 Stephen King movies in there. It was one of them. But this is another horror movie based off of a Stephen King novel, and this is freaking fiction. Why do you do this? I'm so sorry. My dog keeps barking and it's getting really annoying. But like I said, this movie is literally perfection. I love this so much. It's Stanley Kubrick's The Shining, and this is actually, it's actually, like, it's so good. Like, there's no monsters or ghosts in it. This is the murderer. You guys probably know this movie from one of its most recognizable scene where the guy chops down this guy right here chops down the door with his axe, goes, "Here's Johnny." That's the most iconic scene. It's a very iconic horror movie scene, and it's such a classic. It's so good. Like, I've yet to hear any bad reviews about this movie. Like, I've never heard one bad thing about it. It's just so good. It's so well made. It's so creepy. There's not much blood. There's not an extensive amount of blood, but it's creepy without needing to be gory or bloody. Like, it does have 1 to 2 bloody, gory scenes, but it's still so scary, and it twists your mind without even having that much gore blood in it. And the casting is amazing. The way it's filmed is so good. You don't want to get bored of it. You just can't get bored watching the movie. It's so good. Yes, I would recommend this. Warning, there is a little bit of nudity and stuff like that in it, so I would keep that in mind. I wouldn't watch this if you're under 13, because it gets pretty scary at some parts, but it's such a good movie. Seriously, watch it. It's amazing. All right, now we're on to number 6. Number 6. Number 6 is another Stephen King movie because I have a Stephen King addiction. Number 6 is Stephen King's Pet Sematary. Yeah, sorry. It's Stephen King's Pet Sematary. This is, I know this isn't I'm trying to think. It's good. It's so good. It's so good. Okay. So, it's very different. I'm not going to give away anything about Pet Sematary, but it is very surprising. It's so original. I don't remember what year this came out in. 1989. Yes, 1989. But it is a really good movie. It is really creepy. Stephen King, I know it doesn't sound scary, Pet Sematary, that sounds like a kid's cartoon, a kid's horror movie special. It's not. It is not. It is scary, and it is gore. There isn't much gore, but it is pretty gory at some parts. So this will honestly surprise you. I remember the first time I saw this, I was like, Pet Sematary, come on. Is this going to be a movie about ghost animals? Because that's not going to scare me. It sounds like Frankenweenie. That's what I thought of. But I was surprised at how gruesome that this could get. The horror, it does have some comedy in it. Definitely has some comedic aspects. But I was surprised when I watched this. I was like, wow, that got pretty scary. I didn't expect that. It definitely had its parts where it gets pretty scary. You can see on the back. It does have its scary parts, so I would be prepared when watching this. But I would definitely check it out. Stephen King is the master of horror. And this movie is amazing. So yes, now we are on to number 7. Wait, 7? Yeah, 7. Wait, no, 7? 7. There we go. Number 7 is a modern day horror movie, which is Insidious, the first one. I love the second one as well, but I like the first one a lot better. Insidious is probably one of the only original modern day horror movies you will find. It is a paranormal movie, and I love them. They're definitely some of my favorites. It's so creepy. It's so creepy. It's about this family, and they move into a new house, which is right here, and their son well, their dad, he has this ability to go in this different realm, but he doesn't know it because his memory was suppressed, so he doesn't know he has this gift, but his son is born with it. And his son, he goes into a coma, but he's not actually in a coma. Like, his son becomes trapped in this realm called the Further, which a bunch of ghosts and stuff are in, and they think he's in a coma, but he's not. Because doctors can't figure out, like, why he went into a coma all of a sudden, or, like, what happened. But it's so creepy. And then, like, you know, ghosts, paranormal stuff starts happening. They have to call a bunch of researchers to help get the kid out. His dad has to go into the Further and face this creepy demon. And oh my god, it's so good. You can see the demon. He right there. You can see it more in the movie, but seriously, this is a must watch. Okay, best way to watch this movie, go into your room, get a bunch of huge quilts. I don't care if it's summer and it's super hot. Just get a bunch of big quilts, cuddle up in the quilts, just leave your face out of the quilts, turn off all the lights, and jack up the volume. And this will scare the living crap out of you. It is so spooky, and I love it. Make sure you watch it on a big TV too. Like, watching it on your phone won't give you the full experience of watching Insidious. Watch it on, like, a big freaking TV, which is what I have in my room. I have a really big TV in my room. I have a pretty big flat screen, so it's a very enjoyable experience. And I love watching this with my friend Mackenzie because she's still a lot younger than me, so she gets pretty scared when we watch horror movies, but it's seriously so much fun because I'm just like sitting there like, oh, it's so good, and she's just like, what's so creepy? It's seriously so much fun though, but you're gonna love this movie, trust me. Alright, now that's all of my DVD, well, that's not all of my horror movie DVDs, but now we're on to number 8, which is, I can show you some pictures because I don't have it on DVD. The next 3 movies I don't own on DVD, but they're still some of my favorites, so I had to include them. So let's move on to number 8. Wait, no, this is number 7. This is number 7. Alright, so the next one I have for you guys is definitely one of my favorites, which is called Trick or Treat. It is so incredibly original. It was made back in 2007 or 2008, and it's 4 different it's like not your conventional horror movie at all. It's like 4 different horror movie stories in one movie, and they all tie together somehow. Like, you think you're listening to 4 different movies, but they all tie together somehow, like they're all connected, which is so cool, and I really like it, and it's really original. And the villain, his name is Sam. I'll show you a picture. Look at this little cutie. Isn't he adorable? Like, you just want to hold him. He's so adorable. I love Sam. He's like, I want him as my child, my murderous child. But it's so good and so scary too. Like, I know you see Sam and you're like, come on, it's not gonna be scary. But it's another case of the Pet Cemetery. You don't expect it to be as scary as it is, and then you watch it and you're like, well. But I would not watch it if, like, disgusting images bother you, because there is like a kid throwing up like chocolate and blood. It's sort of gross, but it's so funny and it's so good. You're honestly gonna love this movie. It's definitely one of my favorites. Let's move on to number 8. Okay, so I think I actually have 11 movies here, but you know, we're just gonna say it's 10 because I couldn't pick. So the next one is The Grudge, which is a American adaptation of a Japanese film, a Japanese movie called Ju-on, which I think Ju-on means The Grudge. I hope it does. I don't know Japanese, so forgive me if I think Ju-on means The Grudge, but it's really good. It's so good. It's so creepy. This is one of the first horror movies I ever saw. Like, I saw The Conjuring, then I saw Insidious, then I saw The Grudge. So, or I saw a couple before that, but like those were like the 3 I remember most. But The Grudge is so creepy and so good, and I love it. Like, I love it in so many different ways. Like, it's so creepy, but it's so good. Like, the ghost is horrifying. Like, if you wanna see a picture, her name is, I believe, Kyoko, and this is her. Isn't she fabulous? Yeah, but seriously, you guys are gonna love this movie. It's super creepy. It's very different than like most ghost films, which is what I love about it, but you're really gonna like it. Now, the second Grudge I wasn't a big fan of, but the first one is very good and I totally recommend it. Oh my god, we're on to like one of my favorites now, which is The Ring, another American adaptation of a Japanese movie. This is American remake of a Japanese movie called Ringu, which is based on the same thing. It is about a little girl, about this video. Now, I won't tell you about Samara, who is the main protagonist, or and antagonist, sorry, I get them mixed up, is about a videotape, and if you watch it, someone will call you and tell you that you will die within 7 days. And it follows this mother, a single mother with her ex-husband, or boyfriend, I don't know, like they never explain if like they were ex-husband, I don't know, but they're not together anymore, and they both have watched the tape, and then her son watches it, and like they need to find a way to stop Samara, who is the main antagonist, from killing you. But it seriously is so creepy, and it's probably one of the best remakes ever. Like, I actually think this is better than the Japanese one, because I've seen it, but I really love this movie. Like, Samara is amazing. Want to hear a fun fact? Samara, let me show you. Samara, this girl right here, the man antagonist in the ring, this lovely person right here, is the voice of Lilo in Lilo and Stitch. They are the same person, played by Devin Chase. Same person, around the same year. There you go. Hope I ruined your childhood. Seriously though, this is an amazing movie, and I would totally recommend watching it. It's very creepy and very scary and very spooky. I just really love The Ring, and yes, totally watch it. So it's a must watch. I love it. I love all of these movies. I love horror movies, man. They're so much fun to watch. I love them so much. Anyway, guys, if you did enjoy this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up, and you know what, comment down below some of your favorite horror movies. Let me know some of your favorite picks. Maybe I've seen them, I don't know, because I have seen a lot more than what I told you. I just picked a couple of my favorites to share with you guys. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. So yeah, like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. I post new videos every single week. So bye guys.